It's the Breakfast Brew, your second cup with Matt and Ange.
All right, here we go. Back again for another episode.
Episode 3, my friends. And if you haven't figured it out by now, video.
Yeah, we're going to try the video thing this time so you can actually see our foolish faces. This is
creepy.
I don't think we ever did video on the radio show.
No, by the time we got towards the end, that's when people were starting to put the cameras in the studios, which I always thought was kind of silly, personally. I mean, it makes perfect sense, yes, but on the other hand, also silly because the whole point of radio was that you could not see the DJs.
Well, and if people decide they'd rather just hear us than see us, then we won't do the video thing again.
Well,
I suppose that could be a survey. If you post, you can't stand to look at us, just do the podcast, and we'll do that. But,
please. I have a funny feeling we're going to get a lot of those. Oh, good Lord, go back to doing it on the radio.
Listen, I hope we do. I hope we do.
You don't like it? You don't like the video?
No, I think it means we get feedback. Then we'll still do whatever we want.
Get feedback.
Yeah, I want the feedback, good or bad, and then we'll just capitalize on that, create more feedback.
Okay, so
does that make sense?
A hot minute. Yes. Let me take a hot minute to tell you about some feedback I got over the weekend.
Okay, tell me.
From probably the most important people in my life. So my oldest daughter doesn't live with me anymore. And of course she works in the healthcare field, so I can't see her like I'd like to.
Right.
So we're messaging back and forth and she says, I'm listening to the podcast. And of course I'm blown away because I honestly didn't think she would. Oh my gosh, she says, I'm laughing so hard. She says, I'm going back and forth between the first one and the second one, and I can't decide which one I like better, and I'm laughing so hard, and this is so great. And I said, oh, I'm glad you get a chance to listen to it. And she lives in Messina. She works in Ogdensburg. So that's what she listens to on her commute, is you and I being total buffoons.
So our show should be 40 minutes long.
So, well, at least 45 minutes, just, because sometimes you got to go a little bit slower. But honestly, if we could stretch it out to a good 45 minutes, that would get me to work too.
Do you listen to us?
Oh, yeah. It's interesting for me. I never listened to us before. Like after the show was done, it was done.
Right. I mean, I still have air checks. I sent you a copy of an air check that I actually put on YouTube, which was a lot of work back then because I had to put pictures. There was no video, so I just had to keep putting pictures of us up to create a video for YouTube, where now we have the video here, and we'll just, I can put some pictures in between or whatever, and we'll be fine.
Right. Well, we don't need to do that. But yeah, no, it just is interesting to me to be able to get in my car in the morning and turn on, and there we are, and you and I are talking, and people how many years ago got to hear this all the time. I never got to hear it.
No, you just did it.
I was there. Yeah, we were just there. We just did it.
And I recorded all those, which is sad.
I know you did. No, it's not sad. It's cool because like you've said a number of times, those were pretty much the best days of our lives. So
yeah, really.
Someday when you have nothing to do, you can sit down and go through them and
that's like the hardest thing for me. Like, I don't know when I have nothing to do. Right? Listen,
This is why I like video, because the look on your face when I said when you have nothing to do, and you're like, please, when would I have nothing to do?
It's the slowest time in the world. Everybody gets a chance to take a break, slow down. The COVID-19 thing is keeping us at home, and it stops all that stuff. And yet,
and you're busier than ever.
I'm just as busy as ever. And that can be the first thing we talk about. It's actually an interesting subject to bring up, because one of the things I don't do now is we don't run kids around. It used to be when I came home from work at 5:00, the plan was Joey and I go to the gym to work out, which we can't do. So don't look at my physique right now. It's kind of slouching a little bit. But we couldn't, we would go work out. Well, that's like a 45-minute to an hour deal. In between that, if there was people that need to go to dance, we'd pick them up, take them to dance, go do the workout, go pick them up. Did we have to go to the store and get food for dinner? There was all this other stuff around it. So we got that hour to meditate and work out, and then we go running around. And usually it was 7:30, almost 8 o'clock most nights before I got home.
Right.
Where now I come home at 5 o'clock.
And there's nothing to do.
Well, there's supposed to be
No,
nothing
there's
to
always
do.
something to do. Yeah.
But I have shows to produce. I still do, radio on the regular radio. So there's all this prep. So I try to take downtime. And one of the things I've tried to do is kind of schedule myself. Well, I'll do my radio show after 5 o'clock, and then I'll do this, and it just doesn't work. Like yesterday, I was ahead of the game. I know the magic of radio. I don't mean to spoil it, but I did my Monday radio show yesterday afternoon in the studio at the radio station.
What? Wait.
Yeah, I know.
You mean it's not live?
Well, that part wasn't.
Sorry.
So I come home and I'm like, this is great. So at like 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night, I'm like, I can put the news together and, have that ready for me because I do morning news on 3 radio stations.
Right.
So I put the news together and I said, I'll cut a broadcast just to have it. Then if I can sleep a little late, if I miss the first one, at least there's a newscast on. Right. So I cut a newscast, I go to bed. Well, I go to bed, it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock. That's my normal time. Yeah. And I think, great, now I can sleep in till 6.
Woo,
right? Maybe
craziness.
Something like that. But no, 4 a.m., eyes come open. I just wake up.
Okay, let's talk about that because that annoys me to no end.
What, did I wake up?
That people, I mean, it's not just you and I. No, it's not just you and I. But I honestly can't stand that it mostly happens to me on weekday mornings, but my alarm is set for 5:30 because, I work 45 minutes away. So you got to get up, you got to be there at a certain time. So lately my eyes have popped open at 4, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and you just lay there. Because you can't go back to sleep.
I don't just lay there.
Do you go back to sleep?
No, I get up and go to work. I start doing radio stuff.
See, I don't. I can't go to work early. People don't call in until 8 o'clock. So me sitting around early. I mean, I guess I could go in early and do work, but Lord have mercy,
it wouldn't do any good.
I spend most of my life there. Well, I'm not going to get caught up. You're not going to get caught up no matter what happens. So. Well,
and my one job, I can't go in. I mean, the car dealership, I can go in early certainly and do some paperwork, but it doesn't. That's incidental. But with radio stuff, I got to have the news ready for the morning.
Right.
I can work on whatever show stuff if I didn't do it the night before, whatever the case. So, Ava and Carly.
Yes.
So for me, it's I get up and I start working in the morning. Plus, I pay bills and things because when I get home in the afternoons, I'm too tired. Of course, I guess because I wake up at 4 when I get home at 5.
Well, that's it.
That's
Isn't
the thing.
That it? Like, that's what drives me up a wall is I'd love to have more energy when I get home at night. But for the love of God, I've been up since 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And Mike kind of gets upset. I say, 8 o'clock, 8:30. I'm like, okay, done, out. See ya.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, where are you going? Don't you want to watch? And I go, no, because I've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning. I go to bed.
Watch through my eyelids because they just shut halfway through the show and I didn't get to see it.
So here's the joke in my house. Mom's favorite show is watching the back of her eyelids because without fail, I will sit down to watch TV and out. I am asleep.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time.
Oh my God.
And on the weekends, I wake up and everybody leaves me here, right? And go up to bed at night. So I wake up at like 2 a.m. and I'm in my chair and I'm like, oh no, this is like the worst place to be. Cause then I got to make my way.
You in your chair?
Oh,
Nobody
sure.
wakes you up?
No. And I probably fell asleep at like 8:30, 9 o'clock and they turned the channel, watched whatever their show was done. They went up to bed and left me snoring there in the chair.
I kind of like that.
But I don't like sleeping in the chair. So then I got to get up and go upstairs. And I think, I'll go upstairs to bed for 2 hours and wake up again at 4:30, even on the weekends. But I do. So I go up and I go to bed. And, it's fine.
You know what my dad used to say? When my dad was advancing in years and he would sleep in his chair, he would say, he'd come over the next day and he'd say, geez, I fell asleep in my chair last night. I'd say, oh, yeah. He goes, yeah, I had to take a nap to get the strength to go upstairs and go to bed. Okay, Dad.
Yeah. So yeah,
Anyways.
so I'm an early riser. I can't help it. And it's funny because look at you drinking that beer.
I'm sorry.
I'm kind of jealous, but it's not good for my diabetes either. So I don't really drink that much beer anymore. I guess when it gets
Well, it's
warm out,
not
I'll
good for
drink
my
more.
weight, but
Well, that's two of us.
yeah.
Anyway, so I'm an early riser, and when I was a kid, my grandfather got up at 4:00 every morning, and I never understood. And sure enough, by 8:00, he was sitting having coffee, playing cards, solitaire. Or if I was up, I'd
Yeah.
sit and play cards with him. And I appreciate that nowadays. Although I play cards on the computer,
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
I don't do it with anybody else. Nobody's
You
up
don't-
in my house that time of day.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I understand that. Now, so let me ask a question. We're talking about sleep, and I know all of our kids, nobody's going to school. Are your kids sleeping in the morning, or are they up and doing their classes right away?
Oh, no. They're all sleeper
Do they,
inners.
if they do it by 5, everybody's happy. Is that the type of thing?
Yeah, Jen pretty much keeps track of it all and makes sure they get it. I mean, I'm at work. I can't really chase them. So they do it during the day. It's tough. And Tyler's a senior, so he's got to do senior stuff. And, Joey'd rather be on the phone with his girl and instead of doing his work. But he gets out and gets his homework done. And Melody's pretty good about staying on it. And so's Carly. Of course, Jen works with him. She's great. So, they all do it during the day. They've got Jen set up a special workstation for them, a nice table in the other room they could sit at, do their schoolwork and stuff. So, they're pretty lucky as far as that goes. And I just don't know if you're going to see school reopen this year. I don't know.
I was wondering that too. It wouldn't surprise me if you didn't. It wouldn't surprise me.
I think, thank you.
I don't know.
But it's just one of those things that when you think about, and I know we weren't going to talk about the crisis as much as we do, but it is important to note that, our seniors and our juniors and our sophomore, all our kids, no sports this spring.
Yeah.
No proms. The graduation ceremonies probably won't happen.
Yeah. Right. No musicals that they started to do.
That stuff was shot down the week before they did the shows. I mean, it was, so it was, what happened? You disappeared there.
Well, no,
there you go.
Somebody called. Sorry.
That's funny. Your name came up.
Did it?
Yeah. It went screen went blank. It just said Angie Guyman across the screen. I was like,
in case
wow.
you weren't sure who you were talking to.
Yeah, it kind of showed us. That was funny. So anyway, I don't know. As far as proms, I think we've talked about this before, but it's just too bad.
Yeah,
but we don't know if we're going to have fall sports even.
Right. So I don't know, speaking of like podcasts and video things and whatnot, and this is just a side note, we don't have to talk about it long, but John Krasinski, who was on The Office for years, and now he's been in movies, and he's, what's his name? God, I forgot his name. Well, anyways, he's on Amazon, whatever. He started this channel called Some Good News. And he just brings good news to people, because it's not a good time in the world. And he just wants to make some good things. So in the last episode, this past Friday night at 8:00, he invited all the seniors that were missing their prom to get all dressed up and go to a virtual prom. And he had DJs and he had rappers and he had special guests. The Jonas Brothers showed up and Billie Eilish showed up.
Hold on.
And it really was kind of a cool
Hold
thing.
on.
Yeah.
I don't remember us getting invited.
I think our invitation may have got lost in email.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because I can guarantee you that if John Krasinski invited me to anything, oh baby, would I be there?
Oh, really?
Oh my God. I would totally be there.
So he's one of your vices.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So you mean
I gotta have a drink now.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's kind of funny because it gets all orange like your arm and everything.
Does it?
The back. Yeah, the background's kind of funky. It's weird.
Ooh.
Oh, your hand disappeared. So did your beverage. All right.
It's gone.
Let's talk about Tiger King just for a moment, okay? I tried, Ange. I tried to watch episode 2. Here's the thing. But here's what stopped me from wanting to see it. I'm looking for the documentary side of this. the factual side of this. And what it got into was the Tiger King and the guy in North Carolina and their relationships. I don't care about their relationships. I want to know about them and the Tigers, not them and their husbands and or wives or whatever it is. I don't. That part of it is not. So it turned me off. I was like, okay, I'm done because I don't really. That part of it doesn't interest me.
No, I understand, but that is part of it too because.
Well, then you can have it. I'm just not interested. I'm just.
No, I know, and I totally understand where you're coming from because it does get to be a bit much, but I'm noticing that you kind of got to push through that, and somewhat interesting, I guess. Maybe not to everybody, that's fine. But if you can push through and you can get to like the end of the episode, that's when it's like every good TV show. They throw you a clincher at the end of the episode, and then you're like, well, God, now I have to watch the next one. So that's really what's doing it for me. I got to tell you, I haven't had a chance to watch anymore, because I'm so horribly busy. I haven't had a chance to watch anymore since the last time we talked. But I still do want to finish it. But, it's not a show that you can watch with the kids around. I mean, there's some crazy, messed up, foul language. And we all know we've never sworn a day in our lives. We have the cleanest mouths of anyone ever. But there's just some stuff. Yeah, thank you for laughing at that. There's just some stuff that the kids shouldn't hear. So
it's embarrassing, isn't it?
It really is, because kids don't need to hear that.
Yeah.
So I just I'll watch it, and when I watch the end of it, I'll be like, okay, there's 6 hours of my life I'll never get back, or whatever.
I'll just stick to my recorded episodes of Chasing Classic Cars and my weekly Oak Island episodes.
See? Oh, you watch that stuff?
Oh, I love Oak Island.
Do you?
The history of it all is amazing.
So Mike watches Pawn Stars.
Yeah, I watch that sometimes.
Okay, that show drives me out of my skin.
Why?
Because you could walk in with, I can't even tell you what you could walk in with. The first ever, World Series trophy ring or whatever. And that's what that guy likes, is he likes the rings. You could walk in with one of those and he could call in his specialist and he'd say, it's worth, my gosh, at least, $1 million. So then he'd say, they'd say to the guy that has the ring, what do you want to do? You want to pawn it or sell it? And he'd say, oh, I want to sell it. And the guy, the other guy behind the desk would go, I'll give you $5. And you're like, come on, man, It's worth more than that. It's worth more than that. Well, I need to make a profit and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, put a little effort into it. Like, this guy came into your shop. He wants to sell you the ring. Of course, he wants to get money out of it. You want to get money out of it, too. But throw him a bone, for the love of God.
Well,
and the guy just will not.
And American Pickers, I used to watch them a lot too, but then you find out that they're not always as nice as they appear on the TV show when they're doing the show. So it's kind of disenchanting. You're kind of like, okay, well, whatever. I'm sure they make good deals and it's very interesting, but in the end, I'm not sure. I mean, if they came to pick our house, it'd blow their minds. This whole place is worthless. There's nothing here worth anything.
Yes. Yes. I think that too.
My prized comic book collection that started way back in the early 90s and carried on through the 2000s. And you'd think out of hundreds and hundreds of comic books, I might have something of great value.
And then they show up.
I found a program where I could plug all my comics in, and they actually kind of give you an idea if any of them were worth anything or. No, they're zero. They're zero. They're lucky they're worth $1 a piece, some of them. So my comic book collection is no good. So then I think, I've got my NASCAR collection. I've got all my race cars that I collected from the late 90s into last. I haven't bought one in a year or so, but I still buy one or two here or there. And I think, I've got, a couple hundred NASCAR race cars. They got to be worth something, don't they? And
you punch that in.
And no.
Nothing.
No. So I've not collected anything good.
So if it makes you feel any better, I think the only way I could make money off of anything in this house is if I waited for Mike and Tony to leave. I put up a sign on Facebook that said guitars for sale, put my address down, and waited for people to come. But then I would be the guy who they would be like, hey, geez, I'll give you $100 for that guitar. And I'd say $5 and we'll call it a day.
Yeah, just take
get
it.
them out of my house.
Here, I'll pay you $10 to take it out of here. Right.
So one day, this is kind of funny.
It's sad.
I went to take a picture of all the guitars in the living room. They're all just lined up in the living room. So I went to put it on Facebook and I just typed in guitars for sale as a joke. And didn't the marketplace come right up? And do you want to sell these guitars?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, I had a heart attack. I'm like, no.
Well, yeah, it's hard. I'm going to tell you, I have loads of equipment, speakers and amplifiers, and there's I got a whole bunch in the corner of my garage. I've got some right here in front of me. I've got some over here. My guitar amp, my bass amp is over here. There's another amp on top of that. There's some crates with cords in them there. My kids, for the longest time, thought end tables are made out of speakers because I had so many PA speakers that I put a cloth over them and stick them in a corner. There's an end table, you know.
Oh my God, I love that because that's our house too.
Well, and I thought maybe I should get rid of some of this stuff because I don't use it all.
Right.
You know, I mean, I don't want to get rid of my guitar amp because I still like to sit every once in a while, sit with the kids and we'll plug it in and we'll play it and stuff. I mean, obviously I don't play in bands anymore or anything like that, but I still have a ton of equipment. Then I have all my DJ equipment. I bought 4 rounds of DJ equipment and I have all of it still. Oh yeah. I got the giant system that weighs a ton that I kill myself if I try to move it, if I don't have the boys help me, but it sounds so good. I'm like, you know. Then I have the self-powered speakers, which are great because they're light and they're big and they're loud, and that's cool. Then I have the smaller set that I bought when I first bought a new set back 15 years ago, and I bought it off of, I don't know, eBay or something, and I bought a neat little PA setup. I still got all the original setup of that, speakers and amps. Then I bought some additional speakers to go with it at that time a couple of years later, and I have all them.
You're making
and then
me tired.
And then I have the guitar amp. I bought another bass amp, but I didn't buy a cabinet for it. So I have the amp, but no cabinet. So I probably should get a cabinet to put that bass amp into. But then I think, where am I going to put another cabinet? I've got an amp. Why do I even need the amp? And I think, well, maybe I should just sell the amp. But I'm like, it's such a nice amp. Then I've got my fancy bass foot pedal.
All right.
Right?
You got a lot of crap. We got it, dude.
Yeah. So it's hard. I don't know what to do with it all.
God.
Like, you almost wish sometimes somebody would come and steal some just so it disappeared. And I'd be like, oh, it's gone.
I cannot tell you what happened last night. Something happened. And I said to my husband, wouldn't it be great if the house burned down? Wouldn't that be great? All our stuff would be gone and we could start from scratch and all the crap that we don't want to get rid of would just be gone and we wouldn't have to worry about it. Maybe that's not nice to say. I thought it was funny.
He didn't like that idea?
He did not like that idea. I can't imagine why.
Well, here's the thing. Like with our house that we have now, this one that I'm sitting in right here.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to leave it to my kids eventually. It's almost paid for and it's not worth anything. And I certainly don't want to take all the crap out of this house to go to a new house. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when I leave, most of this stuff is going to stay right here. I'm going to take like maybe a few things and I'm going to be like, too bad. It's all yours. I'm out of here. Your phone's ringing.
I know. It's just my husband.
Your name comes up.
Just in case you're not sure who it is, blowing you off.
It is, yeah.
It's Angie.
So it's hard, right? I don't want to take all this stuff with me. And we've tried, you know, we went, this is really sad. We went like once in the spring, once in the fall, once in the spring, once in the fall for 2 years. Twice each year, have my friend leave a giant 16-foot trailer with 6-foot high sides. And we filled it full of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
and he took it away for us. And then we did it again in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
and then we did it again the following spring.
Absolutely.
And we did it again the following fall. And you know what?
There's
still not any more space.
Do you know why?
I have no idea.
Kids.
Why? I don't.
The kids accumulate. This is someone else's problem who lives in this house, who shall remain nameless, who won't stop calling me, has all this stuff from these kids, our kids, and he doesn't want to throw away any of it. I can remember when the girls were little, going through their rooms and me saying, okay, let's get rid of stuff that you guys don't use anymore. Okay, so we'd go through and we'd put it all in a garbage bag and we'd throw it away and then, put it outside on the back porch to go into the garbage can. And someone would come home from work and he'd come up on the back deck and he'd say, well, what's all this? Hey, man. Hey, dude. What's going on?
He can't hear you.
There?
I have headphones on. You got to wave to him.
Okay.
There.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Tyler's made it to the internet now.
Yeah, well, that's all that matters. So he'd come up on the back porch and he'd look and he'd come in and he'd say, what are you doing? Well, we're getting rid of toys that the girls don't use anymore. Well, you can't get rid of that. What? And I'd say, no, we really can. No, we really can. And so he'd go through the bags and he'd pull things out. And at one point in time, he started pulling out those little toys from the McDonald's Happy Meals. Well, you don't want to get rid of that, do you? Yes, actually, I do.
Well, I certainly don't want to keep it.
I want it gone.
Yeah.
Because their room is full from top to bottom of stuff they'll never use again.
And I think that's something that we've kind of come to grips with the last couple of years, Jen and I both, is we kept a lot of junk. And I look at my garage, I'm like, why did I save that? It's worthless. Yeah. But, and you almost have to understand, and maybe it comes with age. And of course, Mike is still a little younger than all of us mentally. So,
wow.
It doesn't come of age as quickly. You want to get rid of stuff. But I do think you reach a point where you just say, I want to get rid of all this. I don't need it. I'm not attached to it. There's no intrinsic value to it. Because if you have the memory, you don't need the thing.
Well, and that's what I say to him often. And it's funny that you would say, being of the age, because when we got married in 1995 and I was 22 years old, I was packing up all my stuff clearly to move in with my husband. And he was there with me. And I'd say, oh, I don't need that. Oh, I don't need that. You're throwing that away? Well, yeah, I'm not taking it, wherever we end up in the next, 50 years, whatever. Oh, I can't believe you're throwing that away. What if you need that again? And I would hold it up and I'd say, Mike, it's a book about the monkeys that was written in 1986, which the monkeys were popular in 1966. Nobody cares.
Right.
Bing! And he'd have, oh my God, I can't believe you're throwing that away.
But again, there was an old school philosophy that you kept everything because it was going to be useful. And the reason for that is because stuff wasn't available. You couldn't just go to Walmart and buy new plates. You couldn't just go get another pack of silverware. You couldn't just, I need a pair of pliers. Well, I didn't keep the old ones and they were junky anyways. I'll just go buy another set. And it's all very inexpensive. What's happened is as the evolution. Sorry, the dog's not supposed to be in here. Evolution of society and what we've come to now is most things are disposable. So you don't need to keep, I was keeping, and I still see it in my garage sometimes. Why did I keep that half a picture frame or that busted picture frame? There's no picture in it. I can go to the dollar store and buy another one. For what I probably paid for that one, I could buy 5.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think you have to let go of that. Now, there are some things that have some value and are wonderful, and I'm sure they're great, and you keep those things. But, like speakers and amplifiers and things. But other than that, but again, even that stuff, Ange, I have it here. I keep it. We don't even use it.
Yeah.
Why do I still have it? But the problem is I think, well, I can sell it. Then I think it's not worth selling. So maybe I'll just give it to somebody. But nobody wants it.
Nobody wants
So
it.
really, eventually, it's just going to go away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rather than me
And you know
storing it
what?
or lugging it or anything else.
Save yourself the time and energy of doing it, when you're old and gray, and do it now.
Well, that's what we've kind of started doing. And I think eventually we want to move, and I'm going
Ooh.
to take what I want, and everything
Yeah.
else can stay
Yeah.
right here, and they can
Yeah.
deal with it.
Yeah.
Isn't that
I
what
agree with
people
that.
do? Only most people wait. It used to be your parents got old and passed away, and then you got stuck with their stuff. My kids, I'm going to be alive and let them get stuck with it. There, it's
You
yours.
don't get
See
the
ya.
satisfaction
We're
of
going out.
burying me first. You have to take it now while I'm alive.
Yeah. And to be honest, if there's no cash or money, my kids aren't interested anyways.
Well, if that's true.
Is
I
there any
agree
money
with
in there,
that.
Dad? No. Oh, then we don't
No.
care. Just throw it away.
Well, can I sell it for anything? No, it's probably not. Well, then I don't care.
Yeah,
Just
we
get
don't
rid of
care.
it.
Yeah, just whatever.
Yeah.
So,
No, I agree
that's
with that.
times have changed, and you don't have to keep things because they just don't have the value they did before.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I have to
agree.
admit that as I get older, I'm more careful about my purchasing decisions.
Yes.
But the whole
well,
stimulus
you should
check
be.
thing, and we could talk about
Yeah.
that as our third item here. Let's talk about the stimulus money and extra money and
talk about
everything
it.
else.
Yeah.
Some people like to be, well, the stimulus check is meant for you to pay bills or do this. It really is nothing but a way to keep the economy moving. However people choose
Yes.
to spend it is their choice. It's no judgment call from
Yes.
you or me or anybody else.
Right.
If you want to go buy
Yeah.
a new TV set, you go buy a new TV set. If I want to go buy underwear, I go buy underwear, which I like. So, it's a choice, right? If you want to save it in the bank, save it in the bank.
Yes.
That's your choice. It's not meant,
Yeah.
there was no criteria that you're going to get this money and you have to use it for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just use it.
And I actually, so we went out and bought a dishwasher with it. Our dishwasher was on its way out.
Yep.
It was leaving deposits of food still after it would run through. So I said, that's it. We're buying a new dishwasher. We went out the night we got it. We bought the new dishwasher, brought it home. It's installed. It works great. Fine. So my husband took a picture of it, put it up on Facebook. Oh, we took the stimulus. We bought the dishwasher, everything. One of his friends actually kind of gave him grief on Facebook for it. Oh, he says, that's great. I'm paying bills.
Well, that's your choice.
So, right. So I kind of got a little miffed. So in the nicest way possible, I got,
oh boy.
Yes, I got underneath his post. I said, that's great. I'm glad you were able to use the money in that way. I said, we look at it as a stimulus check, which means, in my opinion, to stimulate the economy. So what I just did was I stimulated the economy with my money by going and buying a new dishwasher. It's something we've needed for a long time. And, I hope everything's going well for you and whatnot. Just kind of not really to shut him up, but to shut him up.
Right. That's kind of rude.
It's not your choice, or it's not your right to tell me how I should be spending my money, because it came into my bank account, not yours.
Well, and here's the other problem, and this is the whole circle of all this help money and everything that's going on, is some of us are still working every day. Some of us have essential jobs, and we can't stop working. So we're still getting our regular paychecks and everything else. Now, here in the North Country, and this is a very unique situation, because here in the North Country, $600 extra with your unemployment is a lot of money for a lot of people, right?
Yes.
If you're getting $150, $200, $300 in unemployment, and all of a sudden an extra $600 on top, that's more than you normally earn in a week. So a lot of people are like, wow, I could stay home and just take this unemployment until July with this extra $600. And that's fine, whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
They're entitled to it.
Right.
Okay. But if you live in New York City, Los Angeles, Dayton, Ohio, I don't care.
Yeah.
That extra $600 is not a lot of money. And it gets your groceries for the week or whatever. So you have to take advantage of the fact that we're in the North Country and the cost of living is such that is extra money and it's good for you. And I'm glad for the people that can use it. Do I want an extra $600 a week in my paycheck because I'm still working the front lines? I do. I really do. That would, wow. I could have so much money saved by the end of this, and so many bills paid off that it would be unbelievable.
Yeah.
But that's not the way it's meant to be. right? I'm still working. Maybe there's a tax break for those of us that are still working at the end of the year because we didn't go on unemployment. Whatever the case, hopefully it's good for some, and it helps people. That's what it's for. And there's always going to be that situation where somebody's going to be dependent, somebody's going to take advantage, but it is what it is. It's their call.
Well,
use it for what you want.
Right. And that's my point is, don't give me grief for using it the way I want to use it. You're using it to pay bills. That's lovely. I want to use it to buy a new dishwasher. There's a baby in the background.
Well, I know Tamika was just yelling at the dog to him, like, there's a show going on.
No, well, nobody really cares.
Sorry. I had to cough there. No, it's part of the fun, you said. So that's why I decided to stay here in the living room and not go in a room where I shut the door. This is my madhouse at night when I'm watching the show and there's a dog in my face that shouldn't be in here. Go on, Daisy, get out. Go on, get it. No.
Oh, poor dog.
No, she's coming in here. She doesn't belong in here. Anyway, so I think that's part of what we have to understand. Listen, again, all politics aside, because I'm not a Democrat nor am I a Republican. I'm not playing that game. I don't care. And we last thing we want to do is be political. But that kind of money that comes in, just use it for what hopefully everybody comes out good in the end. But I know there's going to be some people that are going to have a lot of debt when this is over because they didn't manage that extra money when it came in.
Right.
And there's going to be some people that are ahead of the game. I want to be one of those guys ahead of the game. So I've been paying bills and knocking bills down and trying to, get ahead by a month or two so that I can breathe easy for a month or a week or whatever and relax when this is all over. That's all.
Yeah.
It's all in how you plan it,
Right.
And that's
it's all in what you choose to do with it.
Right. So I think it's wonderful. You guys got a dishwasher. It's something you needed. And you're still working every day and you don't get any bonus for that. Thanks, Carly Barley. And
hi, babe.
And so, it's one of those things where it's whatever works for everybody. Jen went out and bought groceries this weekend. I just about had a conniption fit. How did you spend that much money on groceries? It was almost my whole paycheck. And
easily.
But she's like, hey, I got 2 weeks worth of dinners for us.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'm just not used to it.
It's easily done.
We don't do that very often.
You must, I'm sitting here thinking about, we went to the grocery store on Sunday. We went to 2 actually and spent a good chunk of change. And that's just for 4 of us in this house. I cannot imagine for the life of me how much you will spend on groceries.
Well,
a lot.
I mean, there's 9 of us in the house.
This is what I'm saying.
And 3 of which are young men.
Yes.
Who eat quite heartily. Well, I mean, Cody's not here. What Cody does, he comes home late at night and eats us out of house and home while we're all in bed.
Right. So you don't know what happened.
Right. So whatever's left over gets devoured, and I come down in the morning, just crumbs left lying around. But
yes.
That's the reality of being home. The economics of that, and summertime scares the hooey out of me because we have to feed these kids for every meal, right? So I'm pleased that the schools, and a shout out to all our schools, for the food programs that they're doing right now for the kids.
Absolutely.
My kids get these bags full of food and wonderful, and they love it, and they're thrilled, and they're getting, and I love it. Thankful for that because that's another chunk of money that we'd be spending on groceries. So, I appreciate that very much.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
My diet's gone right out the window.
Can we talk about that for just one hot minute?
Here's the problem. I'm diabetic. So I have to be extra careful. Not only do I get fat, but my blood sugar goes up. So it's been an awful, and then I'm not getting to go to the gym because the gym is closed. Please open the gyms, Governor, please.
Yeah.
Because if I go back to lifting weights, I'd be way better off.
Yeah.
Where right now, calisthenics don't strike me as fun, so I don't do them. And subsequently, I'm getting fatter and lumpier and more carbs, loading up. My sugar's going up.
Yeah. It's difficult for me, not so much during the week, because like you said, you're still working, and I have a good routine during the week. I have a protein shake in the morning. I have a nice salad at lunch with like a cheese, or I make a little like a protein type cookie thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I come home, I can will myself into eating the nice, good, high protein meal. On the weekends, however, it's all gone.
Right. Well, here's the other thing.
Yeah.
My favorite restaurant that has my favorite salad bar which I would have at least once or twice a week.
Yeah, it's closed.
Luckily, just reopened doing takeout only. Buster's, I
Right.
can say that because it's our show, so I can say that. Buster's here in Ogdensburg.
Right.
So they're doing takeout. So I did have zings on it, but they still don't have the salad bar, which is the part I
Right.
love the most. I could eat
Right.
that salad every day.
Yes,
And it's
I
great
agree.
for me, except I put too much
Yeah.
dressing. But, it's still
Yeah.
better than, fast food or anything else. So when that
Yeah.
choice is, there's so many choices that are taken away that you have to
Yeah.
rethink. And it's so difficult to eat right
Yep.
and do the right things. It's almost like it's a
Yeah.
weekend every day. I
Yeah,
ate
it
potatoes
really
and
is.
stuffing for dinner tonight. I way carved out for dinner tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So now I have to think
I
twice
feel
about
bad.
if I'm going to make popcorn later because I love making
Yeah.
popcorn on Monday nights, but I already carved out. So now it's,
Yeah.
it's so difficult. It's so difficult.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Because
we have to stay healthy.
yeah, and I usually do, so Saturday's usually my cheat day. So I'll take, I'm good Monday through Friday. I take Saturday to cheat, and then I'm back on Sunday. Well, this was just cheat weekend. So I came home Friday night, and, here's what's killing me right now. There's about 15,000 Easter baskets in this house, all full of candy that I just particularly happen to love and cannot say no to.
Well, who bought
And
the
it's
candy?
Actually, my oldest daughter bought a lot of it.
But she learned from you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not the point.
So anyway, yeah.
So, it's within reach when you're watching TV and, oh, look at the little mini Cadbury Easter eggs. Oh, that can't be too much. Bing. And then 5 of them later.
Mhm.
And you're like, well, okay, so that day's gone. So then you get up Saturday morning. And I'm fairly good on Saturdays. Even when I'm cheating, I make eggs, which is protein. I put cheese in, which is protein. I like to put ham in, which is protein. And I have whole grain white bread with peanut butter. So it's as much protein as I could possibly pack in there with a little carbs on the side, okay? But then somebody says pizza. And boy, if ever
say pizza.
did you hear that?
Yeah.
I don't like pizza. You would say pizza.
Well, anyway.
Somebody in the house says pizza. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
He's giving me sass back here. It's you. Yes, I know it's me. So yes.
What about
so I
wings?
say pizza, and you have to have wings with pizza. And I don't know about you, but you know what goes really good with pizza and wings?
Beer. Well,
Oh my God.
okay. So let me tell you. So here's my situation with the whole diabetes thing when it took over my life, or more of what I let it because I understood how bad it was for me to take in all that sugar and everything. So the
Yeah.
Easter holidays, the Christmas holidays, it's all different for me now. I don't sneak one piece of candy, not one. There are
Right.
baskets full of Reese's peanut butter eggs.
Yes.
Oh, and
Yep.
all that stuff.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. As tempting as it looks to me, I can't take it because I'm so afraid that it's going to hurt me when I eat
Right.
that I can't bear to do it. I can't
Yeah.
bear to do it. So
Yeah.
it's probably a good thing, but I'm eating so many carbs that I keep talking about that, but that's my problem is my substitute
Yeah.
for the sweets is
Carbs.
starches when I'm not supposed to have regular potatoes. I had some tonight. Oh, I had stuffing. Well, there's nothing good there.
Yeah.
So that's,
Yeah.
and it's, I monitor my sugar and I try to keep it in check, but it could be better if I didn't eat that stuff. And it's
Yeah.
hard to keep that diet every day.
It really is.
It's a
really
lifestyle
is.
and I'm adopting it, but it's hard. And
Yeah.
listen, people bring donuts into the car dealership, into the radio station.
Yep.
Hey, have some donuts.
Yep.
That's good. Thank you. I don't have them.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have them.
Yep.
Well, what about a muffin? No, it's no better.
That's It's probably worse.
It's all baked goods. It's not good for me. So
Right.
as much as I appreciate people bringing it in, what I kind of do is sniff it and then go, and then move on. I can't have it.
Yeah. Yeah, you really have to.
You
You
and
really
I
have
can
to.
do that, which I amaze myself sometimes because I can't believe I can do that. It's like
Yeah.
it's like somebody taking a luscious double layer creamy chocolate cake and slicing off that nice wedge so it looks just like the TV commercial and sliding it in front of you and going, oh, just try it. And you can see the creamy, rich frosting and the velvety chocolate cake, and you know how smooth and tasty it is together. And then they set down an ice cold glass of milk next to it. And
Why don't you
go,
like me?
I gotta have it, right? But in all
Why don't
honesty,
you like me?
But in all honesty, I wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't eat it.
You wouldn't really?
No, we did this at Christmas time. We get the Schwannies chocolate pie along with other Schwanny stuff and other pies and everything. So you have all these pies. And I said, you know what? For Christmas, I'm going to splurge and I'm going to have a slice of that Schwanny chocolate pie. Now, mind you, when I look at stuff like that, I look at it as poison to my body.
Do you really?
I'm so scared to see it because I'm like, I'm going to eat this and I know it's horribly bad for me and there's going to be nothing good that comes of it except for a moment of euphoria while I eat that velvety chocolate goodness.
Yes.
So we slice up the pieces. Jen sets it down in front of me and I go, okay, where's the fork? Oh, we're out of forks. Well, you got my parents and her parents there, right? We got
everybody's there.
So I'm like, okay. So I get up and I go wash forks. I wash all the forks, I pass them out. And before I can even go back to the table and sit down, I look at Jen and I go, never mind. I smelled it.
Because you lose it after a while.
Well, I feel better not having it. So if I can have the willpower to not have it, then I don't. So I said, give it to Cody, let him eat it. And of course, he gladly did.
Well, and you have young kids, and right now their metabolism is great because they can eat all that stuff. And
I remember those days.
Oh, God, do I miss those days. And so let them have it and let them, whatever, because it's not going to bother them. It's going to bother us forever.
Let them eat cake.
That's right. When I do my cheat day on Saturday, my body tells me wholeheartedly on Sunday morning, you should not have eaten that.
Well, and I should have known years ago that sweets weren't good for me. When I used to have, one of my favorites was always chocolate pudding. With a little whipped cream on top. Oh, it's so amazing, right? And every time I would have it, I'd feel sicker than a dog afterwards. And I could never understand why. And I always thought, well, I have an aversion to chocolate. So I had cut out chocolate a couple of years before I found out I was diabetic. But then when I found out I was diabetic and no sugar, I'm like, okay, well, I'm done. So I don't even get French toast and pancakes for breakfast because I'm not going to have sweet stuff.
Right.
I'm just not going to. And you know what? I'm used to it. That's what I mean. I can look at that chocolate pie and I smelled it and I thought I was going to eat it. And I went, it's like
not worth it
much, right? It's like having too many beers. You can do it. You're feeling good. And then all of a sudden you stop and you go, wait a minute. If I keep pounding these beers, I am going to be in so much trouble tomorrow.
Yes.
If not later tonight, that I just shouldn't ever. So you just stop and you go, okay, I'm good. And you're done.
Yep. Yes. I agree.
So the holidays are fun, but the sweets don't get to me like they used to.
Well, I'm glad someone can deny them because as of late, I was doing really good for a long time. And at Christmas time was when I was doing really good because, when you're in an office setting, and I'm sure you have it at the dealership too,
I do.
People are just bringing stuff in, just bringing in stuff. Somebody made fudge and somebody made cookies and somebody made this and, oh, I bought you candy for Christmas and blah, 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 blah. And I just went, no, because I had lost a good amount of weight and I was proud of the fact that I had lost the weight and I just didn't want it back on. And so that's when I was really good. But I got to tell you, this whole situation that we're in right now, it's really easy to just say, you know what, never mind. I'll just have it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later when we go outside and exercise and do whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are doing that. So if you're doing that, not just Ange and I, but if you're doing that, at least take solace in knowing that you're not the only one. This is a very stressful and difficult time for everybody.
Very stressful.
I mean, it must be because it created this, the Breakfast Brew, your second cup. I mean, wow.
And what's more stressful than that?
Oh my gosh. How did they ever figure out that they needed to come back and we had to listen to them? Good Lord.
And now we have to watch them.
Yes. hideous as it may be, we're here in your computer or your phone.
Like I said, if we're going to do it, we're going to do a video chat. We're going to do it during the week because otherwise this is a much different look.
Ah, you're fine. It's kind of funny
I don't
because
think you've ever seen me this early in the day with this much makeup on. I was thinking that today because when we did the show, it was what, 6 a.m.?
Yeah.
And we were lucky we showed up, not in pajamas.
Yeah, news was at 6, so we used to get there at like 9:45, sit down, get ready, and then off we went running. But what was so great about doing that is by 6:05 every day, we were off and running.
Yes.
There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We were just there doing our thing.
Yes.
So
sometimes it was bad, but yeah.
You can tell it's getting darker because my face is getting darker as the show goes on. Lights going away. Oh.
Does that mean we've been talking too long?
Okay, so next show, I would like to invite Father Chris to come on and be a part of the next show.
Deal.
Just let's try that because we can do 3 on the screen here. And I've
seen these Zooms with 16 different cameras on.
Okay, but I don't want to get too many, and then nobody will see my beautiful
I don't
face.
Either. I don't. Oh, Lord.
Right. But no, if we get Father Chris to join us next show, that's our first special guest.
Okay.
And then maybe after that, we'll get Music Man Bob on.
Yes.
We haven't talked to Bob in a long time. And
we haven't.
Oh, your phone's
Oh, my
ringing.
God, again. This is the best one ever.
It's Father Chris calling.
It's not. It's Mike again for the third time.
We're doing a show. Leave us alone.
Oh, God.
Where is he? Did he actually go somewhere today?
Clearly, he's on his way home from wherever he is because he won't leave me alone for 5 minutes. God, 25 years. You think you'd give me 5 damn minutes to be by myself?
Yeah.
Oh, this is not going to be good when he watches this back.
Does he actually watch us?
He said he listened to the first one.
Okay.
I don't know that he's listened to the second one yet.
That was
so
it.
Maybe not.
He could be credited for discovering this matchup and allowing it to be on the air for the first time. Now he doesn't listen to us.
It was his fault.
It's his fault. He created this mess.
This madness. Stop the madness.
All right. Is that it for today? Are we done?
I'd say that's good. Did you get your topic in that you wanted to talk about?
Well, the only other thing I had left was YouTube videos and what everybody's watching for YouTube videos during the pandemic stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because we all have our YouTube stuff that's weird and different.
Right.
And, we kind of touched on it last show. But, I didn't know what your kids are watching. Like, does Tony have, or Laura, or anybody, do they have YouTube shows they watch?
Well, thank you very much. Tony has his own channel.
Okay, so what's that so we can tell people?
So, oh, God, I don't even know. Tony Guimond, I believe.
So look, and he's our artist. He does our show music. He did that background behind Ange. He did all that. He is our artiste of the show.
He is.
So all rights reserved, Tony Guimond, by the way. Those are all his trademark stuff, so you can't steal it.
Yep, that's right.
The music, everything. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so that's what he has. He has a full album. He has a couple of albums, but he has one that he just released not too long ago on that page. I can get the specific name and give it next time. I'm not 100% sure.
Share it on our Facebook page.
There you go. I will.
So be watching for that on our Breakfast Brew Facebook page, and then you can click on those links and check that out. I'd love to be able to promote what Tony does because he's done so much for us. And, time flies. The time 13 years ago, you just kind of
you don't have to tell me. 13 years
crap.
ago, when that kid came out, we weren't sure he was going to last a day. And he's 13 and he's amazing us every day. He amazes us. So,
and I'll never forget that because we were hoping Melody was born and then Tony came along. We're like, oh, this is great. You guys are like, we got to go. We're going to Syracuse and Rochester.
There was no,
So there was that was tough for you guys to not be able to celebrate that with everybody. But now we're celebrating his art and his talent. It's awesome.
Yes,
I love
it is awesome. It is awesome. I'll find that link and I'll put it on the Facebook page because I tell you what, he shared it with the school that he goes to in Messina. Right. And because, all the kids were saying, oh, I'm making this pie or I'm doing this homework and whatnot. And I'm going, hello, my kid's making albums.
Right.
So we put that up. I told the school principal, she put it up on the Facebook page. Now everybody knows the awesomeness that is Tony Guinan.
So we got to share it on our Facebook page so that more people can. We share it even more. And, if he goes viral, he'll take care of you the rest of your life.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but
he'll make sure you got a little hut.
Yes. So, and one thing I want to tell everyone, if you're watching this, if you're enjoying it, if you, for some odd reason, find us remotely entertaining, please go ahead and share it. Tell your friends. We'd love to see how far we can get this reaching people. And really, we are doing this to entertain. This is a rough time. We've said this a million times before. It's a rough time. And if Matt and I can do the smallest, tiniest of thing, and that's entertain you to keep you happy, that is why we're here.
Yeah, because you have to know that you're not the only one in this boat.
No. Absolutely not.
I know it's cliche. We're all in this together, but I've said this for many years. We all have, look at the background going on behind me. We're trying to do the show. You were talking, you've got family walking by. That's why we do it in our homes and we're not sitting in fancy studios.
Yeah.
And you've got a lot of broadcasters now doing stuff from home. Yeah. And the one weather guy had his cat jump on his arms when he was doing a weather forecast. And now the cat's a part of the weather forecast. This is true reality TV.
Yeah.
It's really
Jimmy Fallon is doing his show from home, and his daughter came in to tell him that she had lost her first tooth.
While he was doing the show.
How
did I miss that? I think Jimmy Fallon's awesome.
I love Jimmy Fallon. I like them all. Kimmel, Colbert, I love them all. So I think that's great.
You never know. Maybe someday we'll have an interview show like them.
Okay.
Never mind. Next time I'll have Father Chris on, we'll see how that goes off the rails.
Oh, it'll I'm already scared for my life.
Father Chris. Don't bring Father Mike into it till after we have Father Chris on first.
Let's acclimate to one.
Right.
And then we'll add the other one in.
Because that's really off the rails. It won't even be Matt and Ange.
Oh,
we'll just let them do the whole show without us.
Yes.
And,
we'll just turn the camera on and let it go.
Yeah, let them two go off and it'd be like a CNN interview.
Oh my God. The worst CNN interview ever.
Everybody arguing with each other. No.
Oh my God, no, I really want to do it.
We got to play a game like that with them. That could be fun. Like a 10-second answer. You go around the circle, right? Start with you.
How many of us? Okay, wait a minute. 10-second answer. Of the four of us.
All right.
Could any of us give just a
15, but then you got to buzz them and move on. You can't help it. Yeah. Well, we'll get a buzzer. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So if you enjoy the show, let us know. Share the show with your friends.
Yes.
And, share it on your Facebook pages. Please, we're just here to make people feel good.
Yeah.
As normal people.
And if there's something you want to talk about or you think you would find it amusing for us to talk about, throw it up.
Yeah, because, we got some pretty weird thoughts on things. And again, we have some pretty normal thoughts too. So
that's right.
Yeah, hit us with it. Right on that Facebook page, The Breakfast Brew, your second cup with Matt and Ange.
We're ready.
Hey, peace out.
See you guys. Thanks.
Okay, that's great.